My name is Eliza.
My name is Elsie.
My name is Ebenezer Tufo.
This is Rosemary Nobagazy.
Over the past 14 weeks, I have been part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey, and it has been a blessing for me. I want to share my lessons with you.
Indeed, my attitude to life has never been the same. On the very first day I joined the virtual Personal Growth and Leadership Masterclass organized by Center for Transformational Leadership CTL Africa under the tutelage of Mr. Samuel Eyim.
First, the law of intentionality. Second, the law of design. And third, the law of the rubber band, the law of expansion.
The law of intentionality, the law of awareness. Then we have the law of the mirror.
Looking at how intense these laws are and how much impact they're supposed to make to our life.
My value obviously is not the same. The program indeed satisfies my quest for knowledge. So I encourage you to be part of this journey and also become an encouragement to others.
I will recommend CTL Africa to everyone who hears about us.
It has been a blessing to me, and I will encourage you to be part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey.
So we thank Mr. Eyim, and we thank CTL, and thank you for listening to us.
God bless you as you make a move today.
I have been blessed, and so you be blessed. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning from wherever you're joining us on the leadership platform. This is a new day, this is a new getting to the end of the week, and this is a new year. This is our first edition for 2024, and it's great to be back and to bring you another edition of the leadership platform. My name is Sarah Jessie Apia, and I am joining you today from Geneva, Switzerland. So, what I would like all of you to do is to share with us where you are joining us from in the comments section. Just let us know where you're joining us from and how you have set the intention to experience today's session. As you all know, for the past 4 years, we've been having this platform to learn together, share together, and to educate one another in the areas of leadership and how we can grow. This year, we have Sam Eyim, who is the host of the leadership platform, kicking the year off with another leadership learning that he has titled, let me get the title correct, give me a minute to get it from my phone. The title for today's evening is, let me see, You can see that, let me see 1 second. The title is What Got You Here Will Not Get You There. And he's got lots of teachings and learnings that he's going to share with us. And who is Sam? Sam is the host of the leadership platform. He is an executive and leadership coach. He is a John Maxwell certified coach. He is a motivational teacher. He is, if you don't know, having a legal background, he is a lawyer, and he also sits on several boards running governance teachings and guiding boards. So Sam is multi-talented. He has walked the path of leadership for several years, And he has put it as his mission to educate the masses, young people, leaders, incoming CEOs across Africa in the ways of leadership. So this evening, would you help me welcome Sam to the platform to share with us what got you here? What got you here from the last year is not what is going to get you through 2024, and he's going to share lots of lessons with us. Before he comes on, I'll take the opportunity to welcome Ebenezer Ni Ama joining us. I guess he says Happy New Year, CTL Africa. And we have Jirel Fokuo, who is joining from Accra, and he says he's happy to join and learn. So keep on sharing where you're joining us from and what the intentions you have set for yourself. So, Sam, without much further ado, may I invite you to the first edition 2024 of the Leadership Platform series. Over to you, Sam. Great.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and Happy New Year again from Ghana to you in Geneva. I trust that the weather is not too cold, and
It is cold. It is snowing.
we're having a very hot weather, so maybe we can export some heat to you up there. Thank you so much
That
for
would be
always
lovely.
supporting.
Yeah. And Sam, before you start sharing with us, just take a few minutes to give us a little bit of perspective as to what you have in store for the leadership platform.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. Yes, we've been doing this leadership platform for almost 4 years now. Every week we've had a lesson on leadership. So this year we're trying to restructure a bit the leadership platform. We're going to have this year every month. We're going to have what we are calling leaders are readers segment. Now, what that is going to be is that personally, one of my targets this year is to read a key leadership book every month.
Mm-hmm.
And every month, the leadership book that I'm reading, I'm going to share the key nuggets from that leadership book with our audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so every month we will have a leaders are reader segment, and I'm bringing you a book, and I would encourage members on this platform to also look for that book and to read it fully, because what we will share will just be overview of the content. So that's the first one. The second thing we are going to add this year is we are going to have a time with the CEO. What this means is that we're going to locate some key CEOs, and we are going to bring them to the platform to tell us their story on how they became CEO, the challenges that they're facing as CEOs, how they are solving problems, so that we can learn from those close to the oven what's going on in the leadership front. And so that is something that we will do. And we would also continue with the extraordinary leadership stories. We're going to bring you, scout around for some extraordinary stories of emerging leaders who are doing some great things in their field, so that we would share that also with you. And of course, we would add our usual leadership lessons, and we're going to bring different people, different leaders to share on different perspectives. So that is what we have in store for the leadership platform. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be amazing. And we encourage you to be able to bring your people, especially those on the corporate side, to bring your colleagues, share this with your colleagues, and let many people come on the leadership platform. We at CTL Leadership this year, we are going to continue our training, the growth journey training. We're starting the next session, the first session for the year. I think we have a week or so to start. A few people have already registered, and we want to encourage those who want to take their growth really seriously to register for the growth journey. This year, the growth journey is going to be for 10 weeks instead of the 2 weeks, given the feedback that we've had from the other participants. So it's going to be more intense, but it's going to be very enriching. And we'll have several other programs going on throughout the year at the center for you. So please watch out and join us. Thank you, Sarah, for that question.
Excellent, excellent. So, viewers and listeners, you see the very intentional, packed program that the leadership platform and CTL are bringing to us. You have the menu, so please make sure that you have calendarized this in your calendars to join us every Saturday for you to have an impactful learning space and time with us. So, Sam, over to you now to share with us the leadership book that you're reading because you believe that leaders are readers. So, over to you. We are all ears ready to learn. Take us away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And good evening and good friends. Happy New Year to all of you who are on. I can see also Lakwe is here, Natalia is here, Sam Williams is here. I can see William Darfur is also here. Please share the lessons, share the link. I can see her ladyship. Cynthia Martinson is here. Richard Asante Boche is also here. So I want to thank all of you who have joined. Anime, let's see, the name is Justina Kwao is here also. She's happy to join. Please share the link with your friends, share on your Facebook platform, share in your WhatsApp groups. It is a free platform, and invite your friends and colleagues to learn with us. We're going to have a good learning session. We've done a bit of 30 minutes already introducing ourselves. We're going to have another 45 minutes or so together to 50 minutes. So let's see why you are here. Let's see your expectation, and please go ahead. If you have read the book we are going to share, also we'll be happy to have you share your thoughts. I'm going to pick my lessons and I will share them with you. And I'm encouraging you to read this book. So this is the book that I am reading for January. And I've gone through it, I've listened to the audio and so on. So I'm going to share with you the nuggets from Marshall Goldsmith's book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. It's a very interesting book, and I encourage everyone to either get it online or hard or PDF. What got you here won't get you there. There is a free audio also, which you can Google and just listen to the whole book in audio if that is what is convenient to you. It's about 8 hours of audio. So go ahead. If you want to buy it, you can also go to the audio stores, bookstores, and just have your own personal copy in your audio library. And we encourage you to read, because everything that I am doing in leadership, I did not learn it in my academic career, or if you like, in my school work. Everything that I'm doing in leadership is something that I have taken upon myself to intentionally learn, read, go to seminars, take courses during this month of January. For those of you who listen to City FM and City TV, they do a series on effective learning, effective living series. And I've recorded one lesson for them, which is on how to grow professionally through continuous learning. And that is what we are encouraging on this platform. We can all become better. No matter who you are, you can become better. And you don't become better just by being where you are. You can become better by being intentional with your life and with your growth and taking them step by step. You don't have to read 100 books a day. You can just read a chapter a week, which is like what we do on the Growth Accelerator program. We come with the 15 laws, and we encourage you just to take a chapter or two a week, read and distill the lessons for yourself. down. So please get a copy of What Got You Here Won't Get You There by Marshall Goldsmith. Now, let me just share a few thoughts about who the author is. And Marshall Goldsmith is an executive coach. He's a renowned executive coach. He's written about 40 books and translated into 32 different languages. So you can see that this is really a very powerful leadership, thought leadership personality. He's helped hundreds of CEOs and their teams to address workplace issues. His core mission is to help executives to transform their lives, to become better leaders. So he takes them one-on-one in their teams and works with them, look for their weaknesses, help them to go through as a coach, which is what Sarah and I and many other people are trying to do for other executives here. And Marshall Goldsmith is one of the gurus in coaching that we learn from, actually has a coaching certification. And I believe that Sarah is one of the certified Marshall Goldsmith coaches. So if you really want to know more, she has all the mind of Marshall. So talk to Sarah also if you want some coaching. So he's a two-time winner of the Thinkers 50 Leadership Award. This is an award that focuses on thought leaders across the world and those who have made significant contribution into leadership thinking. And he's won this award twice, and he's recognized, as I said, by Inc. magazine, the Global Gurus, and others as one of the leading minds on leadership. All right. So let's start from the start. This platform, like all the things we do at the CTL Africa Leadership, is building your leadership capacity. And so this book is a leadership book to start with. It addresses leaders and what leaders can do to become better leaders. So that is where we want to start from. And we've talked about leadership is influence. Leadership is about people. Leadership is about how you get people to do things that you set yourself to do with the themes. So it is a people side. Now, always the question about leadership and management. Management is about resources, how you organize the resources, the inputs you get to get the best output from the various resources, financial, material, and other resources. That's where management is focused on. And leadership is about the people who you are working with and how you can improve that human resource that has been given to you. So leadership is about people. Management is mainly about resources. Again, leadership is about change. Management is supposed to keep the resources and the organization, the structure, the systems as they are and get them to run efficiently. But leadership is about taking the organization from where it is to another level, or taking the people from one place to another level. That is leadership. So leadership is more about change, whilst management generally will focus on keeping the status quo and getting the engine running effectively and efficiently. Both are important. Leadership and management are important. We have some people who are very good leaders but not good managers, and I probably fall into that category. And there are some people who are very good managers, but they are very poor leaders. And what we want to encourage is that you would be able to come to a point where you are maximizing both competencies, the leading competency and the managing competency. And now this book is going to help you on the leadership competencies. All right. I hope my slides are moving. Good. Now, one of the important things about growth or growing yourself, and when you come to the growth journey, the growth accelerator journey, one of the things that we focus on is you. You bring yourself into your leadership. You bring yourself into your management. You bring yourself into the world. Who you are is what manifests. And the sad truth is that many of us don't know ourselves well enough. And if you don't know yourself well enough, you may think that you are capable of certain things, which in fact you're not. Okay? So that self-knowledge, lack of it, is a critical problem for leaders. Now, this book is supposed to address that big gap of self-knowledge, knowing yourself and trying to understand yourself and building yourself. 1 second. All right, my light was a bit dim, so let me see if it's better. Okay, so you need to do everything. There are so many ways you can know yourself. You can do personality assessments. You can meditate. You can get feedback. You can ask people. You can do 360-degree. You can do so many things just to know a bit more about yourself. Okay, and we have some of these tools at the Center for Transformational Leadership, the DISC and others, to be able to help you to know yourself even better. So the book we are discussing today focuses on self-knowledge. There are things about us that we are ignorant of, and we call them the blind spots. Sometimes you're driving, those of you who drive, or even if you don't drive, you are sitting in a car, and as the car goes and it's trying to turn into another car just pulls off, and it's like the car came from nowhere and just bam, hits you. And before you turn, you probably look left and right, you look into the mirror, but still, it's called blind spot. You don't see, there is a part of your vehicle that you don't see, even when the car is so close. Even if you're looking into the rear mirror, you don't see it. And that's where you have to turn your head. You have to make an extra effort to see what's going on around you. And that is what self-knowledge is about. This book throws a bit more light on you and some of the things that you may not have considered as important, which may also be affecting you. All right? Okay. So you are here because of what you have been doing with yourself in the past. You are here because of all the things you did, the schools you went, the work you did. Who you are now is a result of what you did or didn't do in the past. Now, the question is, how is tomorrow going to be? It's just like we are in the first month of the year. Things have happened. You celebrated your birthday last year. You are in another year. Some of you have celebrated already. Some are going to celebrate. But whoever you are, whatever age you are, your personality, your character, your competencies are at a level today. If you are going to take your competencies to a higher level, if you're going to raise the lid on your leadership, as John Maxwell would say, if you're going to improve your personality and your character, you are not going to do the same thing that you've been doing every day up to now. If you do what you have always done, you will always get what you have always had. And there's a popular refrain that says that if you do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result, that is the definition of madness. In other words, if you do the same thing, you will get the same result. So if you're expecting a different result, then you have to do things differently. And this book is trying to throw light on some of the things that have hindered us from moving to the next level and transforming our leadership. All right? Okay. So the biggest mistake that a lot of us make, especially those of us who are leaders, because you are a leader because you've done some things right. Okay, You've been successful. You went to school. You are among the top in your class, and you went for an interview, and several people were part of the interview, and you were selected as the best. So you've been doing some things right. So you've been successful. You got some promotion at your job. You even wanted to change jobs. You changed. You moved to another one. You got better salary. So you are successful in a way. And because you are successful, that success sometimes becomes a problem for us. And somewhere we program in our mind that I am successful because of the way that I have behaved. And true, what has brought you here is the way you've been behaved. But sometimes you have been successful irrespective, in spite of who you are. Now, my kids were going to school, and one of the things I called them and I was telling them is that, girls, you are going to school, you've got some of the best schools you're going, but this is not because of anything you have done. And I told them, when I go to the village every year where I grew up, and I saw my mates, the people I was in class with, some of them were better than me in the class, but they could not move on, and they stayed in the village as farmers, panwan tappers. And when you see them, and I stand by them, you would think that probably they are 10, 20 years older than me. And I was telling them, when we go to the village and I go with them, you see them, they are my mates, they are my friends. Why am I where I am and they are where they are? It's not because I was more intelligent. It was not because I'm smarter. It's not because, I'm handsome. No. Somehow, sometime, the grace of God selects some of us. So maybe you are where you are, not because you are the best. Not because you have the best behavior and character. Maybe you are there in spite of. And this book is to try to help you to look a bit into some of the things that you do that you thought are the things that have helped you to be here. And as you go along, you will see some of us, there's some behaviors that we have cultivated over the period, and it's become part of us. And we think that, oh, if I become successful and I behave this way, and then it's because I behave this way that I have become successful, and therefore there's no need for me to change. And that is the challenge, because we leaders become so successful, and we think that we're so successful because we are so wonderful people, and therefore there is no need for me to change. And that is something that is a big mistake that we should be mindful of. All right. So that's what happens. All of us in the workplace, we deceive ourselves. It's a big delusion that we are successful because of what we are. No, we become so delusional that we ignore our liabilities. We think that when people draw our minds to some of our weaknesses, we think that, well, that person must be confused. We deny it, and we say that criticism doesn't apply to me. No, if you say that I'm always angry, or that doesn't apply to me, I'm always not like that. It is because we think that because we are successful, we cannot change. And that's the big thing. Leaders who are supposed to be agents of change, sometimes we are the ones who don't like change at all, especially changing our personality and our habits. And that is what we are called upon in this book to do. So there's something Marshall called the success paradox. And this is a very interesting chapter in the book, and I encourage you to read the details, because when you're successful, you say, I have succeeded so far because of what I did. So today, whatever it is, I can do it. I can succeed. And it's fine. It's a good attitude. A lot of the things that we do, they're good attitudes. So I can do it. And even tomorrow, no matter what happens, I will be able to do it. And I choose to succeed because I'm in charge. But unfortunately, that is not true. Sometimes yes, you are successful, but you are successful to a point, and you need to look into yourself. review yourself and be able to see what is it that is stopping you. That's the point he makes, that what brought you here, this success, is not going to take you there. You need to transform. You need to do something else. All right. So the habits that lock us down are the habits that we are going to look at quickly. And I'm going to go through them very, very quickly because I'm going to encourage you to read them. Okay? We don't have time to go through all of them. In fact, I put 20 here. There are 21 of them, of the habits. And I want to encourage you to get the book. Okay? And many leaders manifest these bad habits. And these are bad habits that leaders, we are talking leaders, manifest. And Marshall has studied leaders not at the low level, leaders at the high level, the CEO level, the C-suite level. So leaders at a very high level. And he's found that these 21 habits are the habits that actually prevent leaders. They are successful, but sometimes it creates problems for them. And those habits, we're going to go through them now very, very quickly. Now, the first habit is actually the base of all the other bad habits that leaders manifest. And as we go through it, look at yourself and find out which of those habits you think is also hindering you. Now, Marshall will say that nobody has all these 21 habits embodied in you. If you have all these 21 bad habits, then these are bad habits. You will not be able to get this far. Okay? That will not work. But sometimes some of us have maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, and we've escaped the others, and so we are doing quite well. But those ones, it may be 1, it may be 2, maybe 3, which is not helping you, and you want to crack that one and move on. Winning too much is the base, is the fundamental. All leaders want to win. We want to be successful. We are very competitive because the world is competitive, and you are running a business and you have to win. But the problem with winning is that sometimes we want to win when it matters. We want to win when it doesn't even matter. And we want to win when it is of no use. And so even with your family, with your own team members, we bring that competitiveness, and we see people leading teams and they are becoming even competitive, competing with their team members for honors, for glory, for this and that and this, and arguments that are not relevant. We want to win the argument. And sometimes this behavior actually puts so many people off from us. Winning too much. Winning is good, but winning too much where it is not necessary, where you compete when it doesn't matter, it's not a good one. So that is the first habit. Ask yourself, are you too competitive? Are you competing with your team members? Are you competing even with your marriage? And this book is very good also for relationships also. It's actually a relationship book. And sometimes husband and wife, they are competing. And a lot of the conflicts in the marriage is because they're competing. They're competing for resources. They're competing for things to go to their family. Why did you give too much to your mother and father? What about my mother and father? Why are you bringing all your relatives to the house? And what about my relatives? And there's all this competition there. And I want my relatives to be here. I want my mother to be here. But your mother is here 2 weeks, is too much. And so that competition doesn't build relationships. Okay, so that's that. Winning too much, sometimes you have to stop. Number 2 is adding too much value. We've taught on this platform that the highest purpose of leadership is to add value to others. So adding value is part of a leader's role. So leaders add value to people. But sometimes leaders don't have to add any value. When your teammate has come to you with a great idea And it's a great idea. And then you begin to pick up the ideas and you say, well, this is a great idea, but I think you can add that, you can do that. At the end of the day, what happens is that you transform the idea into your own idea, and the person goes out and says, well, so after all, it's not my idea. My idea is not that great. When the idea is great, just leave it and don't add anything. And a lot of the time, when you are adding too much value, you're actually taking value from people and their competence and their self-esteem and so on. So every time they bring you something and you're cutting it off here and there, it is sometimes it's not necessary. Just small little things, just leave them to go. So that is an important. Read the book and you will get all the details. All right. Passing judgment. This is something that we do a lot. We have our values. Leaders have their values. And one of the mistakes we do is that sometimes when somebody is doing something, somebody is talking, we feel the need to rate them, assess them, evaluate them, and impose our standards of goodness, of badness, of excellence, of whatever, of rightness. We impose our standards on people and we judge them to be right or to be wrong. That judgmental attitude kills relationships, and a lot of the time it doesn't really help build relationship. Passing judgment, it's one of the habits that a lot of leaders over practice and doesn't help. Number 4, making destructive comments. Sometimes we have seen some leaders who actually really rip into people. They make sarcastic comments. I had some colleagues at work, they would just look at you and say, you're so useless. Who actually brought you into this organization? I mean, people go to the extent of even telling others, colleagues at work, you're stupid. Are you a fool? Destructive comments. Now, a lot of leaders do that. Go to the offices. When you ask leaders if it is good to make destructive comments, they'll say, no. But go to the office, corporate environment. Managers are just killing others. The subordinates come to them and they go. When I was in corporate life, there are some of my colleagues, their team members will always come to my office just to cry. Because they go to them and the comments they make don't build them up. And that, they think that they've been doing this all their life and they are successful. They are thinking that, oh, they are being truthful. They're telling the truth. They are just being honest with you. And they say, I'm just being honest with you. You are stupid. But it's not all honesty that you have to communicate. There are some things that come into your mind. You better shut your mouth because it's going to destroy somebody. You have to be very careful about making destructive comments. Now, another one which we use very much is starting with no, but, however. So you ask an opinion, you ask a view of somebody to share his view, or there's a discussion in the meeting, in the boardroom or whatever, in the management meetings, and somebody shares a view. And when they share the view, you have a different view. There is no point to say, well, you said that we should educate our customers on our product. But, however, or you say, no. You see, yes, that is not bad to educate, but that once you say however, what you have done is that you have taken the value out of that suggestion. And you are saying that I know better than you. Pack your ideas. What we want to encourage is that we are adding ideas. So he says, yes, Rand says we should educate our customers. Great. I also think that we can do this. In addition to that, we can also do that. Now, that's different from saying, yeah, you say we should educate our our customers. However, but when you say but, automatically you take some energy out of the person who is making the suggestion. And this is something that is not very healthy in a corporate environment. You tell everybody that I know everything. Whatever you have said, yeah, you said it, but it's not the right thing. I know the better way. I know, and that sends a wrong message about who you are. All right. The other one is telling the world how smart you are. I remember when I was in corporate, we had an executive, and a customer called from South Africa, and he wanted something. So I said, well, this particular executive is the one who would be able to help you. So after she made the call to my colleague, she called me back. So I said, how did it go? And the statement that this person made was, this your friend wants the whole world to know who he is. He knows everything in the world. He was just talking about himself. And that is something that we all do. We are leaders. We have achieved. And when we meet people, we want to show that we've done things. And sometimes we are not careful. By the time you go, you are appearing as arrogant, as a proud person. You know, people will find out. I mean, there are times where you'll be asked specifically to tell us, you know, what did you achieve? In a situation, you can say it. But in a normal conversation, there's some people who want to tell us how great they are. Instead of how great their art is, how great am I? And we are telling the whole world. We want everybody to know we are here and we are the best. It is good to be good, but it is not good to go announcing to the whole world how smart you are. What that does is that you're telling people, I'm smarter than all of you. You are nothing. Okay? And in the book, there's this very interesting story that Marsha shares about a person who went for an interview. And when he went to the interview, the interviewer, asked him what he was doing. He talked about music, and the interviewer, who's a professor, began to tell him, oh, I know a lot about Mozart. And, then he turned it to the interviewee. I know everything about Mozart. Tell me, ask me any question you want about Mozart. And you are being interviewed. The interviewer is asking you to ask him questions. So the interviewee was uncomfortable. I said, no, or you don't know anything. You tell me, you tell me whatever. So at that point, the interviewee asked the interviewer to name 13 of the compositions of Mozart. Then he started. And I understand that Mozart has composed, I think, 20 of certain specific this thing. And then he got to 8 and 9. And this professor who says he knows everything couldn't name the 13. And of course, you're not going to tell your interviewer that you are useless. And so admittedly, the guy said, okay, yeah, you're good, so I will employ you. But the interviewee decided that he would not take the job because he doesn't want to work with somebody who thinks he knows the whole world, he knows better. This person is not going to help you in any way. All right. So don't tell the whole world who you are. All right. Let me see how we're doing on time. Okay, let me do a few more of them, and then we'll wrap up. Speaking when angry. Now, this is something that is very common with us leaders. Okay, and I don't do this often, but every time I've done this, it goes basa. Whenever I am angry, I don't know how to communicate in anger. But from time to time, when I'm totally upset, and then at the end of the day, when I sit back, I don't know why I did what I did. And But some leaders who think that, anger is important, draws people's attention. I have to show and shout on people, and they have used anger as a stock in trade. Now, emotional volatility as a leadership tool is not wise. Okay? Because when you lose your temper at work, okay, you lose control. If you get angry, then you gain their reputation. And I had several colleagues in the office place, and people would say, hey, but this guy, this lady, he's always very angry. Hey, be careful. And we used to have some bosses. Sometimes when somebody goes to his office and is coming, you ask, how are the currents? And they'll say, today is very turbulent. And nobody wants to go to the boss because the weather is not good. Every little thing he's just blows off. And these are successful leaders, but they do it all the time, and it doesn't help. Okay, so speaking when angry. When you are angry and you're speaking, one of the things I've learned to do is to start to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 before you start to speak. By the time you count 10, you would have reflected a bit. It also brings a consciousness on you that you're getting angry, and therefore you have to watch, because when you are angry and you speak, it doesn't work. All right? Negativity. And this is one of the things that I cannot stomach. I mean, I can't, because I've worked in an environment of very positive and can-do environment. So it gets to me when people are very negative. When they say, let me explain to you why we cannot do this. I used to have a boss who would drill you when he says, this cannot be done. Then he would say, why? Why can't this be done? Why can't that be done? Why can't that be done? But there are some people who have a great reputation of every time saying things cannot be done. When any idea comes, they're going to explain to you why that cannot work. They never tell you how we can get this moving. They always want to tell you why it cannot work. Yes, there are times we need the other side of the story. But when you have the reputation of being negative to any idea, that is not good. And usually this happens to leaders who don't want to take the suggestions, and they think that their own suggestions are always the workable one. And when somebody has brought a great idea, it's not the idea, so they push and say this is not good. Okay, this is the need to share your negative thought, even when we have not been asked. And so that's even the worst part of it. You share a great idea, and then he takes the mic and he wants to tell you why that won't work. When you read that book, you have a lot more information. Withholding information is also a bad habit. Now, there are some people who deliberately hold information, and there are those who actually are not aware they are withholding information. Now, those who deliberately, maliciously hold information, that's a serious personality psychopathic or psychometric problem. Okay, you have a problem when you deliberately want to keep information so that you can control people. And this is what a lot of our politicians do. They know the facts, but they won't put it there because they're trying to manage people to divide and rule and so forth. And it is not helpful for leaders. Okay, the refusal to share information in order to maintain an advantage over others is wrong. And a lot of us do. Corporate environment. I had a boss who was keeping so much away from me. At a point, the CEO comes and says, Sam, what do you have in your tray? I show him what I had on my tray. He says, what about that? What about that? I say, I don't know. What about that? I don't know. What about that? I don't know. He goes to my boss and says, at that time I was very young. But there's so many things. You have so many things you're not returning to me. That young man is there. Why are you not giving him things to do? Then he tells the boss, no, he cannot do whatever I give him. He's not going to be able to do. And the boss decided that, okay, the CEO decided that, okay, going forward, he will give things directly to me. Now he gave things directly to me, and my immediate boss is upset. Why did I go to tell the boss that this and that and that and this and that. I mean, there's some people who deliberately keep information just to, create problems. They don't want you to know, so you don't speak intelligently about it, so you look bad. This is not good, and leaders do this. Failing to give proper recognition is also wrong. When you work as a team and people do things, you have to give them the recognition. If you don't give people the proper recognition, you create resentment within because when people work, they're expecting a kind of closure, they're expecting to be recognized, and all of us want recognition. Okay, but there are some leaders, they'll go and take all the recognition and they speak like, I did this, I did, as if he did everything alone. That is not good. The inability to praise or reward people is one of the bad habits that keeps leaders behind. Okay, so let me go through the rest very quickly so that you can ask questions, and those who have read, you can share your thought. That related to recognition is claiming credit that you do not deserve. Okay, the most annoying way of overestimating your contribution, and that's what happens. And if you read the book, he will tell you, he interviewed 3 partners about what they estimate to be their contribution to the organization. And the 3 partners, the total of their estimated contribution was 150. How can the 3 partners be doing a contribution of 150? Because every one of them think that he has contributed half of the resource. Every one of them. Okay? So that is claiming credit where you don't deserve it. All right? Making excuses, which is also related to negativity. And a lot of us give excuses. You are late to the office. You are late to the meeting. And then you give an excuse, blame somebody, blame something, blame traffic, and so forth. That is not good. All right? Then, clinging to the past. All of us have a history. Okay? But sometimes the things that have happened in the past, let it go. But so many of us still carry the load of the past, and everything that happened, we are blaming it away from ourselves and blaming it on others. Why I'm not able to do this? Oh, it's because I didn't go to a good school, or it's because I didn't get a good boss, or because of that, because of this, because of that. That is not helpful. Then playing favorites, and this is rife in the corporate environment, where leaders often would prefer and treat others better than others. Okay? And usually they treat people better because those people are yes men. And if you're challenging them, they don't like you and they will not treat you well. And that is not good. That is not good. Read it. There's a very interesting analogy that Marshall makes in the book about, how people treat their dogs better. And it is because the dog is always docile and that's not challenging them. All right. And people who are actually not challenging you and they are licking your boots and they are the yes men, those are the people you treat well. And that is not good. Refusing to express regret, the inability to take responsibility for your actions. Admit you are wrong and recognize how your actions are affecting others. This is also one of the things. Leaders, in fact, in the political leadership, they say that I'm sorry is not part of their vocabulary. You don't have to say I'm sorry. Because if you say you're sorry, you are killing yourself. So they don't admit responsibility. Everything is gone wrong. But they are trying to find some explanations. And this is leaders. This one, we're going to do a full lesson on not listening. Listening, and we're going to do a lesson because this is so powerful. And in our upcoming, we'll take listening. But a lot of us leaders have a big problem listening. We just decide, when we are listening, we are getting ready to say what we want to say. All right? Then, failing to express gratitude. This is also related to recognition. Just saying thank you. Okay? Failing to express gratitude is actually a basic form of bad manners. Leaders think that, well, they've done their work. Why should I thank them? Why should I thank them? Because they've just done their work. Who is thanking me? for doing my work. And so people go through work and there's no expression of appreciation. Okay? Punishing the messenger. Now, this is the misguided need to attack innocent people who are usually only trying to help you. And sometimes some leaders even take this to customers who come to them and come and tell them some negative things they found about their product and things, and they're saying, oh no, this is not so, and they begin to beat them. Or some employees who come and share, or in a meeting they share the things that are going on in the organization, and then the leader will pick them on and they want to destroy them because they're just sharing information to help you. And we want to kill the messenger instead of the message. Listen to the message. All right, we are almost at the end. Passing the buck. When things go wrong, you're looking for somebody to blame. You blame everybody else except yourself. And that is very common with leaders. It's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. It's somebody else's fault. Not accepting blame. Okay? This is the flip side of taking credit. Okay? When the things go wrong, you take the credit. But when they don't go wrong, you blame others. This is a lot of leaders do that. 20, excessive need to be mean. Okay? This is like, telling everybody about yourself. Okay? Exalting our faults and virtues. This is how I am. And when you are always critical, you are always angry, and you pointed out, yeah, me, that's how I am. And for some people who have done personality tests, you say, yes, I'm choleric. That's how I am. Okay, I'm melancholy. That's how I am. I'm a domineering person. You say, that's how I am. That is not good. And that's how I've always been. No. That's the excessive need to extol your faults as a virtue, because that's how you are. And it's not good. All right. The last one is goal obsession. Habit number 21. Now, this habit, is one of the biggest flaws that all leaders, because leaders are goal-oriented. The successful person who is goal-obsessed tend to disregard everything that does not contribute to achieving their goal. And sometimes we are so goal-focused that we forget about the people. And that is those are the 21 habits, bad habits that leaders actually exhibit. Now, how do you change this? I'll go through this quickly. Sarah, I see we are getting to the top of the hour. The road to this. The book has 7 steps. When you have identified your flaw, 7 steps. I'm not going to discuss them. Feedback, very important. Get feedback. Apologize when you know you're wrong. Now, advertise. Tell the world what you want to change. If you really want to change, announce to your friend, tell your friend, I've realized this is wrong. I'm going to change. Please help me. If I make a mistake, if I repeat it again, please draw my attention. Listen. Listening more helps. Thanking. Saying thank you. Showing gratitude. If you do this a lot, you're going to be able to improve. Follow up. When there are things that you need to check, follow up and practice feed forward. Now, some of these things during the year, we will come back and discuss them a bit more into detail so that we can develop them. But the purpose of this is to whip your appetite for the book. What brought you here will not get you there, so that you can go and read the book. You can go and read the book. So the way forward action, evaluate your life. Now, as you are listening, identify the flaws that you have. Work on the changes you need to do and keep improving. As you do this, over time, you become a better version of yourself. So you are here. Let's get onto the journey. Let's begin growing. And Sarah, that's my presentation on Marsha Goldsmith's book, What Got You Here Will Not Get You There. Leaders are readers, my friends, and you have to start reading. If you're not, read. Set yourself the goal to read. But next month, we'll come with you with another book. Let's say goodbye.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is great. I don't know whether Kofi and Richmond are ready to show us a little bit of pause. If not, we'll just go straight into the comments. Okay, Richmond is ready. Rita, take us away, and then I'll come back and take the comments and the questions. Over to you, Richard.
Dear friend, my name is Samuel Ayim of CTL Africa Leadership, and I would like to invite you to our free weekly webinar, The Leadership Platform. The Leadership Platform is your space for learning everything leadership and personal development. We have been holding the Leadership Platform for the last 3.5 years every week, and thousands of leaders from all walks of life have benefited from the rich lessons from experienced leaders. As the year goes on, we are going to bring you even more enriching content. We're going to have a session called Leaders Are Readers, where every month we will bring you a book that all participants will be encouraged to read. We will share the summary of those lessons for you to guide you. We will also bring you a session on meeting with a CEO, where we will bring an experienced CEO from any industry to share their story and their lessons as leaders. Again, we will bring you the extraordinary leadership stories, where we scout out for emerging entrepreneurs and leaders doing extraordinary things in different fields to inspire you to do better. And of course, we will bring you the normal topics in leadership and personal development that would enrich your leadership. So I hope you make a date with us, CTL Africa, every Saturday, 7 p.m. on the Leadership Platform, live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. On our YouTube, you can also check some of the previous lessons for free. Make a date with us, CTL Africa, on the Leadership Platform, this and every Saturday at 7 p.m. Hello, dear leader. My name is Samuel Ayim, Chief Leadership Coach at the Center for Transformational Leadership in Africa, CTL Africa. And I have an important invitation for you. Why are some nations developed and thriving, while others are underdeveloped and struggling? Why are some businesses flourishing and others languishing? Why are some churches growing and others dying? These are important questions for leaders. So are you a leader? At what level are you leading? What impact are you making? What is your understanding and concept of leadership? The way you think about leadership is the way you do leadership. And as John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Leadership is the cause, all others are the effect. So, at the Center for Transformational Leadership, we've created this program to help you transform your understanding of leadership. This program is going to be based on John C. Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. As a John C. Maxwell certified coach, I'm going to walk you through these laws, and we're going to give you exercises and activities around these laws to help install a new transforming concept of leadership for you. This will change the way you do leadership completely. So I invite you to check our website and our social media pages and to register for the Leadership Mindset and Asset program. This program is on 2 levels. The first level is understanding the laws of leadership, where we are going to walk you through the laws of leadership in 3 to 5 days. And this will give you the foundations of leadership. The second level is walking the laws of leadership. Here, we take you through a 15-week journey through the laws of leadership. Every week, you will have opportunity to study one law, apply the law throughout the week, meditate upon it, do the exercises, and regroup with other like-minded people who are learning the laws of leadership, exchange ideas, and share your lessons. So do not miss this opportunity. Register now for the Leadership Mindset and Asset program.
Great, great. Welcome back. And Sam, thank you for this inspiring and very intentional ways of us to look at ourselves, reflect, and grow as leaders this year, 2024. I'm just looking at the comments that were coming up whilst you were sharing, and it's amazing. Her leadership says, great teacher. She was enjoying the lessons that you were sharing. And Esilenu says, good evening, watching from Accra. Thank you a lot for what you are doing for us. May God richly bless you and protect you. Isaac Essien says, Happy New Year, CTL Africa Leadership. And Reverend Ebenezer Alabi says, Thank you so much, sir, for this inspiring messages. It's deep and a life transforming teaching. I'm blessed. Thank you, Reverend Labi. And Natalia says, Some bad habits are excuses, inability to listen, failure to express gratitude, punishing the messenger, goal obsession, and an excessive need to be me. How I am, that is how I am. Oh God, make us good. Great. So you have in the chat from CTL how you can access the different growth journey and lots of leadership if you are interested. But what I would like to have from you, our viewers, is what about these 21 habits that resonated with you? Which ones are you going to take action on? What are you going to change? We would love to hear from you. And as you put your comments and your questions in the comments section, I will just go back and ask a few of some questions that I have. So I'm waiting for you to put your questions in. Natalia says, Thank you, Uncle Sam. Okay, Sam, on behalf of the viewers and the team, I want to say a big thank you to you. And I just wanted to check in with you. What motivated you to really take up this book? And for you, what is one thing that what is one habit that you have identified that you're working on?
All right. Thank you, Sarah, so much. As I said from the beginning, for this year, I decided to intentionally read a key leadership book every month. And as I was reflecting and preparing for this segment, and the intention was to read a book so that I can share the lessons on the leadership platform, because I want to grow together with the team. I want everybody, all of us. So that was the motivation. So I picked a few because I have a few books here. I picked a few books that I would like to read in the month, and I looked at them and I said, "Oh, January is the beginning of the year. So, well, this will be more interesting to look at what got you here from last year. It's not going to take you through to the year." So that was the thinking why I said, let me do. And I actually plan to do the leadership, the leaders are readers at the end of the month. But I decided that I would do this at the beginning of the month because of the nature, the title, and so on and so forth. Now, one of the habits that I also found reading through it, which I need to work on, is keeping information. Now, and I encourage viewers to read, because mine is not like I deliberately keep information from others. I actually share a lot. But the aspect of keeping information, which Marshall warns against and advises that we should watch, which most of us are guilty of, is the unintentional keeping of information. That you're so busy that you're not briefing your team enough. You're not sharing enough information. So your team is not sure where you are going. It's not that you have deliberately decided that you don't want your members to know, but you're busy, and you're not giving them the feedback they need to work. You're not giving them the information. They don't have enough time to sit with you, to share the vision, to share your ideas. And that, at the end of the day, if they're not able to perform, then you come back and blame them that they're not doing well. And that is one area that when I read through the book, I thought, I think this I have to watch, because I don't think I'm doing that. I'm doing a good work around, intentionally briefing my team and sharing and guiding and so on and so forth. So that is one of and of course I talked about speaking when angry. That I'm very conscious of, because I know that I don't do it well at all. So very often I will walk away, I'll keep quiet, I would just let time pass and reflect. But a few times that I've spoken when I'm angry, I know that I don't do a good job at that. So for all of you who do that, I know it, I experience it. It's not helpful. You lose control, and I can tell you, I mean, over the holidays, I mean, my daughters were, there was some particular thing that they were doing that I was not very happy with, and they went out and they came, and when they came, I mean, immediately I saw them, I went ballistic, and I started. It was like my daughter was, but Daddy, calm down. What is the problem here? Just tone down. Let us know exactly what the issue is. And as she said that, and I reflected, I just realized that actually she's right. Why am I shouting? Why? And when I reflected, I thought of an alternative way I could have, if I had communicated that way, actually I would have gotten a better result. So later on, I had to put an apology on the family platform and say, I'm sorry that I raised my voice, but and I've had a bat there also. That's one of my big areas. There were some values that I thought, you guys were violating, and I think you need to be aware of this and that and that. And say, hey, apology accepted, but next time don't shout on us again, So, so that's the thing. I mean, sometimes you feel like when you raise your voice, when you shout, that's when you get attention. But unfortunately, you lose control. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sam, for being so vulnerable in sharing with us as you walk the talk. And I can see when you talk about the confidentiality, Natalia says confidentiality is key, keeping information, sorry, confidentiality is key in as much as withholding information is concerned anyway. So thank you, Natalia, for that addition. And as you were speaking, I mean, I was looking at the seven list of how we can improve or overcome these 21 habits. And I think, I don't have it written down here, but there's somewhere that you did say, advertise what you're going to do. Say it
Yes.
aloud. So you can
Yes.
see that I unintentionally or intentionally got you to
Yes.
advertise the ways that you were going to work on the habits that you have identified.
Yes.
And for viewers, I would
Yes.
like you to do the same with your team members. I'm looking through the comments and I don't see any comments. So if nobody has any comments or any questions, Sam, I'll give the floor back to you to give us your concluding remarks for this session. I believe that it was very clear. And for those who are joining us for the first time, you know, we have our YouTube channel, we have our Facebook, we have our LinkedIn. Subscribe and also gives us a thumbs up, because the more you like it, the more we are able to spread the lessons on leadership and impact more. So your concluding remarks, Sam, over to you now.
Thank you, Sarah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And we're beginning the year. And at this part of the year is when so many of us are looking at what am I going to do in 2024? Is my life going to be better? And as you reflect on your life, I want to encourage you to put as part of your growth planning reading. A lot of us feel so busy doing our day-to-day work that we are not reading enough. In fact, studies have shown that in the US, about 67% of the population, since they left school, have not read anything. Apart from the things related to work, they have not read any other material. And this, when we do the growth journey and we do the quick sample, a lot of people also confess that since they've wrote their last exams in the university and they got a job, they're not reading again, apart from maybe we go to church and the pastor says, open this book of the Bible. And some of them don't even take the Bibles to church, so they don't even read. They just, and these days, because the verses are projected in many churches, they just read it there and that's it. I want to encourage all of us to read. Yes, not all readers will become leaders, but no, all leaders are readers. You read, when you read a book, you're taking the information that somebody has taken so many years. I mean, this book, Marshall has taken so many years in his practice, in what he does, and he's sharing this for us for free. And you can leapfrog on some of that. So I want to encourage us, review your life, take a book. You can, if you don't know what book to read, please read the books that I'm reading. I'm reading January, Marshall's book, and in February, and I will share the book I'm reading so that you can also join. But you can do your own list and read. Some of you may read faster than I do, so you can read a book a week or a book in 2 weeks. I want to encourage us to read, and that would strengthen our capacity to give more to others. So, Sarah, that is what I want to encourage. This book is a very, very good book, and I want to encourage everybody on this platform. There's a free audio version. You Google what got you here will not get you there. Free audio, you can play it. It's about 8 hours. Play it and listen to it if you don't get the PDF or if you can't get access to the hard copy. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming. And I hope we're starting the year well. And we're praying that God should give us the grace to be able to come to you every week with one great leader and a great lesson. I want to thank you, Sarah, for your support. Sarah, are you muted? I think you are muted.
Yes, I am muted. Sorry. Thank you so much, Sam, for really sharing with us from your heart all this. I mean, in a succinct way. I believe I have read the book, but this really brought back all the things that I had read. It really refreshed my memory, and I'll go back and read along with you and the audience. And therefore, leaders, This is our submission and our first session of the leadership platform. We hope you have enjoyed it, and you will join us again next week when we bring you a CEO or an extraordinary leader who has been impacting his or her field. So we look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you to the CTL team that has been in the background, Kofi, Priscilla, and Richmond, supporting us all the way. Until next Saturday, this is the Leadership Platform signing off. And it's been a pleasure being your host today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Dear friend, my name is Samuel Ayim of CTL Africa Leadership. And I would like to invite you to our free weekly webinar, The Leadership Platform. The Leadership Platform is your space for learning everything leadership and personal development. We have been holding the Leadership Platform for the last 3.5 years every week. And thousands of leaders from all walks of life have benefited from the rich lessons from experienced leaders. As the year goes on, we are going to bring you even more enriching content. We're going to have a session called Leaders Are Readers, where every month we will bring you a book that all participants will be encouraged to read. We will share the summary of those lessons for you to guide you. We will also bring you a session on meeting with a CEO, where we will bring an experienced CEO from any industry to share their story and their lessons as leaders. Again, we will bring you the extraordinary leadership stories, where we scout out for emerging entrepreneurs and leaders doing extraordinary things in different fields to inspire you to do better. And of course, we will bring you the normal topics in leadership and personal development that would enrich your leadership. So I hope you make a date with us, CTL Africa, every Saturday, 7 p.m. on the Leadership Platform, live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. On our YouTube, you can also check some of the previous lessons for free. Make a date with us, CTL Africa, on the Leadership Platform, this and every Saturday at 7 p.m.
Navigating through life without a coach or a guide can be very deceiving, making you come to think that you have achieved the highest or the best you can ever, or you have made the best of decisions. But until you become very intentional and take a good stock of your life, you would not realize that it's a mistake.
Pain helps you to come out of your comfort zone.
The law of intentionality and the fact that learning is a lifelong journey if you want to be significant. Emphasis on significance.
Previously, I used to be very unintentional about the things I do when it comes to my family, my work, my Christian life, and basically everything that I do.
In the pursuit of that growth, there are gaps. There are gaps that we need to conquer. These gaps include the knowledge, perfection, mistake, inspirational, timing, and assumption gap.
And I will encourage you to be part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey.
I encourage you all out there who need to live their life to be part of CTL Africa's growth journey.
Please take advantage of this program and your life will never be the same.
Thank you very much, CTL Africa, and continue to impact the world. God bless.